I'm back, and as you can see, we've got a job interview. Hello and welcome to Club 6, episode 27 of The Pilgrimage. My name is Jamie, and coming up on today's episode, I've got two games for you. In the Serie A, we are away to Milan, and then in the Champions League at home to Lyon. But before either of those, as I said in the introduction, we've got an interview. It is with Arsenal, so let's get straight into it and attend the interview, see if we can get the job. Okay, so we're being welcomed into the interview room. They're going to talk to us about the job. Let's see what they've got to say. Can you tell me why managing a number of clubs as you have done is a good thing? So yeah, I think I'm going to go with convincing them. So my many managerial appointments have given me a wide range of experiences to draw upon. I've seen everything there is to see. I think that's fair. With your team currently defying expectations in the league, are you perhaps looking to take advantage by moving whilst your stock is high? I've done a good job and feel that the time is right to take the next step in my career. You've developed a reputation for applying for other jobs while still employed. What's all that about? I won't let anything get in the way of my ambition to further my career. You're up for a few jobs right now. Are you hedging your bets? I'm doing whatever I can to keep progressing. Are you willing to assure us that you do a better job of meeting expectations than your potential predecessor did? I'm confident of achieving every target set for me if I get the job. Club's been underperforming for far too long. Are you the right person to turn things around? I'm all about motivation. That's what will get the job done here. We understand the importance of having the right backroom team in place when a manager moves to a new club, so we're willing to allow you to request any changes you would like to make to our current backroom team, as well as the opportunity to request any staff members you want to bring with you from your current club. What sort of budget would you be looking for to make these changes? Fair amount of changes, I think. Given the awful league position that they're in, down in 16th place, I think we need a complete overhaul of the club. So let's ask for that. And let's have a look at the club culture. Attacking football, which is great. Entertaining football, we want that. Sign players under the age of 23, fine. No problem with any of that. Work within a wage budget, we're used to doing that anyway. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 32, that's fine. They want us in the current season to reach the Europa League final. They want us to avoid relegation in the Premier League, that's interesting. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and they don't care about the EFL Cup. Going forward, they want Europa League qualification, and then best of the rest. It's not that ambitious, but we'll go with it. If hired, we would expect you to avoid relegation. Do you think you could do better than that? Yeah, I think we'll promise them we'll exceed and go for a mid-table finish. Would a proposed transfer budget of 28 million be sufficient for a mid-table finish? Yeah, definitely. So we'll agree with that. What do you think of a proposed wage budget of 3.566 million a week? Be happy to work with that. Do you have anything to request for us to consider should we decide to hire you? Not at the moment. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that concludes the interview, and we'll need to wait to find out how we get on, and I'll be back in a moment with the first match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the first match of today's episode as we face the Milan derby, and we are the away side in this one. The team for that one is Kachar in goal, the back four of Jones, Omobamidili, Zabarnyi and Skriniar, Abdussalam at the base of midfield, Rodri and Shotard ahead of him, Doku on the left, Colombo on the right, Falcone up front. Let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, the assistant manager is recommending we're doing well and we're on a good run. Keep it going, shall we? Given that we're playing a derby, I'm going to disagree with them, and I'm going to pump the fists and say, come on everyone, I know you all want to beat our rivals as much as I do. So let's get them all nice and fired up, and let's go into the tunnel for a tunnel interview. Do you feel your ambitions for the club are matched by the owner? Yeah, I do. Are you hopeful of a performance? If we play to the levels I know we're capable of, we'll be fine. Are you excited by the prospect of Derby Day and facing off against your local rivals? These are the occasions we live for. Okay, let's get straight into the match. And as you can see, Milan are in fine form and are playing a 4-4-2, and we are in almost the same form and playing our usual 4-3-3. So let's kick the match off and see if we can grab the win. So as always, we'll let the first 10 minutes unfold, and in fact, scratch that, Milan have scored already, and it is Milan 1, Inter 0, although it's gone to VAR and the goal has been given, so it is 1-0. So we need a demand more and potentially a change of strategy already. Let's go attacking. We can't sit back in the derby and let it happen to us. We've got to go out there and make it happen. Molina, it's now with Brahim. Theo crosses and the header is over the top. So Milan almost had a chance to go 2-0 up then, but couldn't take it. 15 minutes gone, still 1-0 down. And obviously that means Milan have leapt over the top of us. We need at least a draw out of this game to prevent that from happening. So let's demand more again and look for signs of who we need to take off. And the obvious candidate at the moment is Colombo. He's having a shocker on the right wing. Question is, do we wait till half time? And I'm thinking no, given that he's rapidly fading in terms of fitness. Let's get who can we get on? Leandro can come on for him, and Inacio gets it clear. We've won it back. Shotard into Doku. Abdussalam plays it into Falcone. Falcone has put it in the back of the net, and it is going to VAR, and it's been given. It is Milan 1, Inter 1. Won't bother with a replay for an equaliser, but that has put us back above Milan in the table. So we're back into a second place as it stands. Leandro to Skriniar, back to Zabarnyi, into Shotard, Leandro to Skriniar, all the way back to Kachar. Omobamidili plays it into Rodrigo in midfield, back to Abdussalam, into Falcone, ball over the top. Leandro is in behind and has ballooned it over the crossbar when surely a dinked finish would have given us the lead. But as it stands, it is 1-1. We deserve to at least be level. Brahim is tackled by Shotard. Oh, Shotard's got himself sent off. And we are really up against it now with a red card in the first half. So let's move Abdesalam forward into central midfield. And we'll do without a defensive midfielder. Falcone's picked up an injury as well. So he's going to be taken off at half time. And that will leave us with just one sub in the second half. Not ideal. So we've been unlucky, you've done nothing wrong, we've played well. Let's get Falcone off. And who can come on? We'll bring on... Can Raspadori play 45 minutes? He's going to have to, I think. So Giacomo Raspadori is going to play 45 minutes. And we'll see how that goes. Let's start the second half. Get a demand more straight away. We'll go to positive, given that we're down to 10 men. We don't want them getting too tired. Zabarnyi collects the ball. Skriniar is tackled. Lecco is in. Finds Molina. Pavlovic to the right hand side and Pons. It's crossed in, headed away. Leandro plays it over the top, but it's all the way through to Iñaki Peña. And he holds onto the ball, launches it long, and Leandro picks up the ball from the header. Skriniar to Abdesalam. It's through to Raspadori. He plays in Leandro, who gives it him back. Raspadori back to Abdesalam into Leandro. Leandro's shot has gone in. I'm not sure how. So we're going to watch the replay of this one because I'm not sure how this has gone in. It is currently Milan 1 into 2. Let's see how this actually goes in. Raspadori back to Abdesalam. Leandro. Oh, it's bounced down off the crossbar over the line and come out again. And that confirms it is by the tightest of margins just over the line. And that brings us to... In fact, have we got a penalty? I'll interrupt what I was saying. I think we're getting a penalty here. The referee's going over to have a look at the monitor at the pitch side to make a decision. Usually these are given. Not always, but usually. So we await the decision. He's on his way back. Penalty's been given. We've got a chance to take a 3-1 lead. Who is on the penalty? It is Doku. And Doku scores. It is Milan 1 into 3. Doku's third of the season. And we've got 40 minutes to hold on with 10 men. Can we do it? That is the question. So we're now 4 points clear of Milan and just a single point behind Juventus as it stands. What are Juventus doing? They are losing to Roma at the moment. Franceschini heads it on, and Nico Vertelas has put it in the back of the net, and it is Milan 2 into 3. But, straight away we've got a free kick close to the edge of the area. Raspadori over it, round the wall, but also wide of the target. And who is going to be the final change? That is the question. There are a number of candidates, it has to be said. And I think we go with, in fact, Let's just let this highlight play out. Leandro to Doku. Doku down the left is on a yellow card. Doku beats his man, finds Rodrigo with the curled shot, and it's off the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Abdesalam needs to come off, but Doku's equally tired and on a yellow card. I'm going to go with Doku, and we're going to bring on Yanis Antiste, I think. Or are we? Maybe not. No, Skriniar off, and Serginho Dest is going to come on. So that's the decision made. That's the final change. Jones into Doku. Doku back to Jones. Rodrigo. It's with Doku. Jones to Rodrigo. He's given it away. Diaz plays it into Franceschini to Vertelaus, and Zaverschlager makes it Milan 3 into 3. So I think we need to go back on attacking now. Clearly the switch to positive hasn't enabled us to hold on. We are absolutely out on our feet and shattered. A draw in this would be a decent result given that we've played so long with 10 men, but we've got 5 minutes to hold on. Doku now gives it away to Calabria, into Brahim, Vertelaus, who's been our chief tormentor in the second half, and it's played in, but Kachar this time makes the save. And is he going to launch it long? Looks like it. He does. He goes straight down the middle. Kumbula, but Abdesalam's picked it up. Raspadori into Leandro. Leandro with the shot, but too much height and too much power, and it's off target. Into stoppage time. There's 5 minutes of it. AC Milan on the attack again. Kachar collects the throw-in, and surely he's going to launch this one straight down the middle. He does. Raspadori doesn't get there. Kumbula wins it easily. Diaz to Zaver. Omabamidili gives it back to Kachar, who can have another try at launching it. Or alternatively can go short to Zabani. Abdesalam to Zabani to Omabamidili into Rodrigo. To the left and Doku into Raspadori, who turns. He's now running into the Milan defence. Finds Doku. Finds Rodrigo, and Rodrigo has put it in the back of the net, and with 1.5 minutes to go, it's Milan 3, Inter 4. So we've taken the lead again. Can we hold on this time? The answer is yes, we can. It finishes Milan 3, Inter 4. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Ahead of the Champions League game with Lyon, we've been offered an interview for the vacant Real Madrid job. So let's go straight into the interview and see if we can land this one. Okay, so we'll get straight into the interview. How do you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? Football is something of a universal language. We'll go with that. Can you ease our concerns you've never previously managed in this country? Various other countries, I think, is a good argument. With your team currently defying expectations in the league, are you perhaps looking to take advantage by moving whilst your stock is high? What are we going to say? I've done a good job and the time is right to take the next step in my career. You've developed a reputation for applying for other jobs while still employed. What's all that about? I won't let anything get in the way of my ambition to further my career prospects. While you're in the running for a few jobs, doing what I can to keep progressing. We need a manager who can work with limited resources. That doesn't sound a very Real Madrid thing, but that's fine. I know I'll be able to look after the club's finances. Taking everything into account right now, club is probably overachieving. Could you keep that going? Yeah, I've consistently helped players to perform above and beyond their abilities and expect to continue doing that. We understand the importance of having the right backroom team in place. I won't make any changes to the Real Madrid lineup, so we'll say I won't need a budget. Long-term vision outlines the next few years for the club. Let's have a look at what they want. Don't sign players over the age of 30, fine. Maintain the club's status as the most reputable team in Spain. I'd expect them to be that anyway. Work within the wage budget, fine. 1 year contracts for players over 32 and 2 years for players over 30. Minimum 4 year contract for first team players, fine. They want us to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League, qualify for the Champions League via the league, win the Copa del Rey, and they don't care about the Super Copa, that's fine. And they want us to challenge for the title next season, win the league the year after, and continue doing so. It's an exciting vision, so happy with that. We would expect you to position the team to challenge for UEFA Champions League qualification. Is that fair, or do you think you could do even better? Yeah, competing for the Champions League qualification is a realistic expectation. 49.83 million transfer budget is absolutely fine. What do you think of a proposed wage budget of £6 million? Happy with that. No other requests to propose. Okay, so that's the second interview of today's episode dealt with. We'll go away and play the second match of the episode, and then we'll return once we've got an answer as to whether we've got either of the jobs we've gone in for today. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode as we face Lyon at home in the Champions League. The team for this one is Kachar in goal, back four of Abdesalam, Carlos, Zabani and Skriniar, Shotard at the base of midfield, Rodri and Barella ahead of him, Doku on the left, Colombo on the right, Falcone up front. Let's submit the team and go and give the team talk. Okay, the assistant is recommending, I think we need to show everyone the recent praises justify, put on a real show. No, I'm going to disagree with that entirely. We're going to pump the fists and we are going to say we're doing well and we're on a good run. And that's motivated Barella, who joins Skriniar in that condition. Raspadori and Leandro on the bench, also motivated. We've got one hesitant, one unsure, and the rest are all composed, which is great. So let's get into the tunnel, do a quick tunnel interview. You come into this one in good form, whilst your opponents do not. Do you perhaps fear complacency? Not worried about it at all, although there's a challenge for us to overcome, and it's one I think we're up for. Ilya Zabani starts again. How pleased have you been with his performances? He deserves a lot of praise. Why have you not picked Andrew Omabamidele? He's been in good form. I want to make sure he's fresh for the future. We don't necessarily need to win this game. We need to win it to win the group, but we've already qualified, so any win will be a bonus. Doku with the ball in, and Eugenio Carlos with the header in off the woodwork. So we'll watch the replay. I think this has hit the inside of the post. So Doku's corner, and it's come off the crossbar, and that's a lovely goal. 1-0 up already, and that will secure the top spot. Nothing Manchester City can do about it if we hold on to that lead. They've gone 1-0 up against Lyon, and that means we're on 14, they're on 13. So Skriniar with the throw in into Colombo, Barella back to Skriniar, into Colombo, Barella, Shotard, and his effort has found the back of the net, and it is Inter Milan 2, Lyon 0, and that surely, even after just 12 minutes, wraps up the win and the topping of the group. Doku into Rodrigo to Shotard, Doku to Abdesalam on the left. Abdesalam plays it in for Doku down the left flank. Doku gets his cross in, finds Barella, and Nicola Barella has his second of the match, I think. It's a good goal. It's 3-0 anyway. In fact, it's not his second. It's a third different goal scorer of the match. 3-0. And that surely is game over. Abdesalam with a throw-in now into Doku. Finds Shotard. Abdesalam crosses it. It's headed up in the air by Matvienko. Colombo back to Skriniar, who crosses. Doku is beaten to it, but Abdesalam collects. Colombo with the header, and it's over the top. 3-0 up after 20 minutes. This game should be as good as done. Shotard clears to only as far as Cacaret. Paqueta and Colombo gets it clear, but Matvienko collects it, finds Diawara. Paqueta back to Cacaret. Cacaret's ball forward. Abdesalam gets there ahead of his goalkeeper, dawdles on it and is beaten to it. Skriniar collects the loose ball, finds Colombo, and eventually the highlight comes to an end. Our defenders keep losing one of the attackers. Doku's corner, and Eugenio Carlos gets a second goal of the match to make it 4-0. Header from a corner, carbon copy of one of the earlier goals. Don't need a replay. And that has absolutely sewn the match up after 25 minutes. And it's a free kick to Inter. Barella into Shotard. Shotard pulls it back. Colombo is beaten to it, but Abdesalam collects. Skriniar to the left and Eugenio Carlos. Played forward and it's cleared by the keeper. Skriniar into Barella. Shotard into Colombo. Falcone beats him to it. The loose ball falls to Doku, and he makes it 5-0 on 30 minutes. This is turning into an absolute rout. We don't need to see a replay. I'm not going to bother with replays for any more goals. We're 5-0 up. Carlos has 2. Shotard has 1, Barella has 1, and Doku has 1. Zabarnyi wins the header. Barella plays it to Doku. Doku to Barella to the right, and Skriniar has the chance to get a cross in, doesn't, plays it back to Shotard, to Rodrigo, to Doku, into Falcone. Falcone has put it in the back of the net, and there's a question mark about offside. Surely we're not going to go 6-0 up in the first half. Yes, we are. It's Milan 6, Lyon 0. Eduardo Falcone with the 6th goal. And that's the 5th different goal scorer. And that's half time. Inter Milan 6, Lyon 0. Let's go in and give the lads as much praise as we possibly can. Outstretch the arms I'm happy. Keep it up. In fact, no, that's about as good a first half as you're likely to see. Well done so far. So let's go out for the second half. I don't think we need to risk changing Falcone up front. We'll leave him on. Don't think we need to change anybody at this stage. It's played forward by the Lyon keeper. Headed up in the air. Abdeslam will collect it. Finds Falcone. He's tackled. Bruno into Cacaret. Back to Diawara. To Paqueta. Skriniar collects in the right back position. Crosses halfway. Matvienko wins it back. Aouar. It's with Paqueta, who goes long. Skriniar should be in control of this. Finds the Barnier. Skriniar gets it back. This time he's lost it to Matvienko, who crosses. Vlasic with the shot, and Kachar makes the save. And it is Aouar with the corner, headed away. Abdesalam's clearance is picked up by Colombo. He crosses halfway, finds Shotard, who puts it straight out of play, and the highlight comes to an end. And we've got a throw in. Abdesalam to Carlos. Abdesalam again. Forward to Doku, into Rodrigo. Rodrigo back to Abdesalam. He's going to play it infield to Barella. Out to Abdesalam again. Abdesalam's cross. The header is over the top, and the highlight will come to an end. So we've less than an hour played with 6-0 up. There is literally no danger of anything happening bad in this game. Zabarnyi to Skriniar, into Colombo. Skriniar again. Plays it forward for Barella, over the top for Falcone, to Colombo, into Doku, and he's dinked it over the goalkeeper, and that is 7-0. But is it going to be called back for offside? No, it's not. It is counting. That's 7-0. That's absolutely absurd, but we'll take it. And it is a fifth, in fact, is it a seventh different goal scorer? It might well be. I've lost count, and we've just made it 8 through Zabarnyi. I'm going to give up counting how many goal scorers we've had. We're 8-0 up, only 63 minutes gone, and this is just unbelievable, frankly. It is Colombo bringing it forward on the right hand side. He's gone right out wide, finds Falcone. Lavaron makes the save. Joris Shotard to Vapinski. Yeah, we'll change that. That's fine. Rodrigo to Barella. Barella's crossing for Doku. And Falcone doesn't manage to apply the finish, but we do win the corner, and it'll be an in-swinger, and it's headed away this time. What are we, 20 minutes left. Right, Doku off, and we'll bring on Leandro. Colombo off for Serginho Dest. So we'll let Skriniar play that through for Colombo. Eduardo Falcone applies the finish, and that's a 9th goal for Inter. This is an absolute rout at this stage, if it wasn't several goals ago. And one more change, we're going to take Zabarnyi off. In fact, we can't. We've made all 3. My apologies. But we're 9-0 up. About 15 minutes left. Nothing's going to go wrong at this stage. Eugenio Carlos into Abdesalam. Rodrigo to Barella. Dest on the right into Falcone. He beats his man, finds Barella. He gets the cross in. Falcone, Dest smashes it against the woodwork, but Falcone was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. And we're into the last 10 minutes. We've had an absolutely absurd 32 shots, 20 on target. 9 of them have ended up in the back of the net. And we're only moments away from confirming the victory. 2 added minutes signalled. I'm sure Lyon don't want to play them. There we go. Full time. Inter Milan 0. Inter Milan 9. Lyon 0. I'll be back in a moment to show you the Serie A League table and the final table for our Champions League group. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so following on from 2 wins in today's episode and 2 job interviews, time to take a look at the league table. As you can see, we are in second place in that table on 37 points from 15 matches, 1 now behind leaders Juventus. So we have managed to close the gap as a result of them losing their most recent match. And let's have a look at what is coming up on the next episode. And given that we are in the running for 2 jobs at the moment, we could be back at any time. So I will bring you back as soon as I've got a response from either of the interviews, and I will show you any of the matches in and around those that I can. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for weekday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.